All right, good morning. Here we are. We're approaching 5 a.m. here on the East Coast. We are Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 here, or Hawaiian Tour Adventure, leg number 7 of 8. So we're departing from PHKO over at the Big Island of Hawaii, and we are flying to Bradshaw Army Airport. So we're basically doing a little, what's that called? Like I don't know what's that little circle thing called? I don't know. ADD kicking in. We're here in the Cessna Skyhawk 172. Yeah, we're gonna get this thing going here. We're departing from runway 17, landing on runway number 9, and then we will park and take a look at Bradshaw and see what that looks like. And we're gonna connect BushTalk radio once we get on the tarmac here. So let's go ahead and do that. So appreciate you guys tuning in. And hope everybody's going to enjoy their weekend here. So 4:59 a.m. We got this thing going. Let's get this thing on the ground. We're going to be starting off on the runway started. We're not going to do a fire up cold start. Alright, we're just going to make sure, once we get on the runway, we're going to make sure everything's connected. BushTalk radio, our nav maps, and
Kona Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha ready for south departure at runway 17.
we're going to talk to ATC. So let's go ahead. Oh, nice. We were already logged in because we were on a flight earlier. Sweet. So we're going to look at BushTalk radio, and we are connected there as well. So as soon as we take off, we're probably going to get a BushTalk radio on the airport that we're currently sitting at. So we're going to get everything set up here. We're going to be adjusting our heading here, and then we're going to adjust our altitude along the way. So we don't have altitude for Hawaii on our nav talks, but we are going to start with probably about 3,200 feet, I would imagine. It seems like we are going to be flying up and over some mountains, so we will see. We got clearance for takeoff on runway number 17, which is good. Flaps are fully up, which is good. Engine running. We'll go ahead and turn on our pitot heat, and we'll get this thing up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. We got about an hour flight on this one. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go full throttle, release the parking brake, and we'll get up in the air. So I hope you guys have been enjoying these. We picked up a new mic the other day, and I think we got everything sort of situated. It's a pretty fancy mic, and there's a lot of capabilities on it that we haven't even scratched the surface with, but I think we got it at a good point that we can actually get some halfway decent quality. So we are excited about that, and we're doing all of this in preparation for our Microsoft
Kailua-Kona International Airport of Kihei, PHKO, is the primary airport on the island of Hawaii, located in Kailua-Kona, Hawaii, United States. The airport serves Leeward Hawaii Island, including the resorts in North Kona and South Kohana. It is one of 2 international airports serving Hawaii Island, the other being Hilo International Airport on the windward side. It is included in the Federal Aviation Administration's National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems for 2021 to 2025, in which it is categorized as a small hub primary commercial service facility. The commercial passenger facility is a set of rambling, open-air, tropical-style structures divided into 3 terminals. Terminal 1 includes gates 1 through 5, Terminal 2 includes gates 6 through 10, and Terminal 3 hosts smaller commuter flights. Kona International is the only remaining major airport in the Hawaiian Islands where passengers board using mobile stairs or ramps instead of more modern jet bridges. Despite the less modern facilities, Kona is used by large airliners including the Airbus A321 and A330 along with the Boeing 717, 737, 757, 767, and 777.
All right, that was the BushTalk radio. Kind of interrupted me there, but yeah. So the new mic is just one of many upgrades that we were doing in preparation for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which we are getting excited as every day passes. It looks like we're going to make the clearance on that mountain. I'm not 100% sure on that, so I'm going to keep a close eye on that. But we might have to deviate a little bit to our alternated path over there to the left, just in case. We are full throttle, hitting the top of the white arc at 89 knots. But yeah, so we're getting super excited as every day gets closer and closer to the release of Microsoft 2024. And yeah, we did a bunch of upgrades, the mic being one of them. And we got new RAM in there. We doubled up our RAM. And we got a new C drive. What else did we do? We did a bunch of stuff. Why is it eluding me? But I don't know. Nonetheless, we're getting excited about 2024. And we're here on our 7th of 8th leg. We're at the Big Island. We started at the most western point island. Contact ATC here real quick.
Kona Tower, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha frequency change. Honolulu approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type Cessna Skyhawk 4 miles east of Kona 2,600 feet. Request flight following. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Honolulu approach. Squawk 4401. Squawk 4401 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha radar contact 5 miles east of Kona 3,000 feet. Altimeter tree 0.0 tree.
Alright, we're approaching our target altitude. Seems like we're going to have to go a little bit further though.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, please acknowledge.
I'm just adjusting my altitude there, ATC.
Roger, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
We want to be safe. Alright, so here we're getting a good look at the Big Island here. We're actually going to be landing up on top of that hill. And we're just going to be doing like a little circle around it as we increase our elevation. And it looks like the airport, or the runway, sits at 6,190 feet. So that's where we're eventually going to have to climb up to. So we are going to go 6,000. We'll add a few hundred feet to that so that we can get a good look at the runway. And we'll climb up to that and we'll be in the safe mode here. So let's go ahead and check BushTalk radio and see what's coming up. Make sure we don't miss anything. We just have the airport coming up over straight ahead. And then we got some other stuff going on once we circle around on to the top of that volcano, which the runway sits right up here, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so we got a Big Island. It's not going to be a full hour flight because we are going to sim through some of it. And Yeah, we can go there. So we can actually do that now. Well, first we'll get a good look at the island from this vantage point, and then we will increase our sim rate because there's not too much to talk about on BushTalk radio. So we're departing over there, over from that Kona International Airport. We got kind of an overcast day here. Possibly a little rain over that way. So we will go ahead and pull up our flight plan here, and then we're gonna do our sim rate adjustment to kind of go up the mountain, get her to our elevation, set elevation of 6,800 feet. We are crossing over 6,200, going into the clouds a little bit, maybe possibly stopping just short. Alright, let's go ahead and adjust our throttle here now that we are at our designated altitude. We're going to drop that down to about 95%. And we'll take a quick look around here. Alright, so our airport sits just up on top of that hill over here. Can't really see it too good with the clouds, but see if we can look that way. No, not so much that way either. Alright, we got an estimated time of 45 seconds to our next waypoint, and then it's going to be a 19.9 nautical miles stretch to the next waypoint. And let's see if we got any BushTalk radio in between now and then. No, I don't know if we do. I don't know if that'll be within range or not. But once we hit this waypoint right here, we'll go ahead and do that sim rate adjustment again to cut a little time off of the trip, and we can cover more distance. Alright, we are going to climb up a little more, because it does seem that we're going to have to climb at least part of that hill. So the runway sits, I don't know where the runway is. The runway says off to the right. Yeah, I think it sits on the other side of this island, so or this hill. So we're gonna fly up and around and then make our approach landing. Alright, so we'll go ahead and play a couple of the BushTalk radios that are on top of that. So there's a telescope up there. We'll do this. So we're currently flying right there. And our BushTalk radios, this is that mountain that we're going to be flying up and around. So we got a 30-meter telescope that will play. We got the observatories that will play. And also the National Radio Astronomy Observatory that will play. And we'll see what this is. Oh, apparently there's a lake up there. That's pretty neat. Elevation sits at 3,970 feet. And I'm not sure if these will come into play. They might. Seems like we're going to circle around here. Our airport sits right here. There's a training center. So if we zoom in, there's the airport, PHSF, that we'll be landing at. That's the Bradshaw Army Airfield. And then we also got the training area BushTalk radio. And what's this one? Our final one. We got the National Wildlife Refuge. So we will play the ones up here because these may autoplay. So I don't want to try to duplicate anything, but I do want to hit these because I'm probably going to be concentrating on landing the airplane. So let's go ahead and play this one.
The 30-meter telescope is an under-construction, extremely large telescope that has become controversial due to its planned location on Mauna Kea, on the island of Hawaii. The TMT would become the largest visible light telescope on Mauna Kea. Scientists have been considering ELTs since the mid-1980s. In 2000, astronomers considered the possibility of a telescope with a light-gathering mirror larger than 20 meters in diameter. The technology to build a mirror larger than 8.4 meters does not exist. Instead, scientists considered using either small segments that create one large mirror or a grouping of larger 8-meter mirrors working as one unit. The U.S. National Academy of Sciences recommended a 30-meter telescope be the focus of U.S. interests, seeking to see it built within the decade. Scientists at the University of California and Caltech began development of a design that would eventually become the TMT, consisting of a 492-segment primary mirror with 9 times the power of the Keck Observatory. Due to its light-gathering power and the optimal observing conditions which exist atop Mauna Kea, the TMT would enable astronomers to conduct research which is infeasible with current instruments. The TMT is designed for near-ultraviolet, mid-infrared observations, featuring adaptive optics to assist in correcting image blur. The TMT will be at the highest altitude of all the proposed ELTs. The telescope has government-level support from several nations. Demonstrations attracted press coverage after October 2014, when construction was temporarily halted due to a blockade of the roadway. While construction of the telescope was set to resume on April 2nd and later on June 24, 2015, it was blocked by further protests each time. In 2015, Governor David Ige announced several changes to the management of Mauna Kea, including a requirement that the TMT site will be the last new site on Mauna Kea to be developed for a telescope. The Board of Land and Natural Resources approved the TMT project, but the Supreme Court of Hawaii invalidated the building permits in December 2015, ruling that the board had not followed due process. On October 30, 2018, the court approved the resumption of construction, and Hawaii Governor David Ige announced that construction would resume the week of July 15, 2019.
Alright, and then we will do the observatory one.
The Mauna Kea observatories are a number of independent astronomical research facilities and large telescope observatories that are located at the summit of Mauna Kea on the Big Island of Hawaii, United States. The facilities are located in a 525-acre special land use zone known as the Astronomy Precinct, which is located within the 11,228-acre Mauna Kea Science Reserve. The Astronomy Precinct was established in 1967 and is located on land protected by the Historical Preservation Act for its significance to Hawaiian culture. The presence and continued construction of telescopes is highly controversial due to Mauna Kea's centrality in native Hawaiian religion and culture, as well as for a variety of environmental reasons. The location is near ideal because of its dark skies from lack of light pollution, good astronomical seeing, low humidity, High elevation of 4,205 meters, position above most of the water vapor in the atmosphere, clean air, good weather and low latitude location.
Okay, so we're coming up to our next one. Oh, it's not a lake. Never mind.
Mauna Kea is a dormant volcano on the island of Hawaii. Its peak is 4,207.3 meters above sea level, making it the highest point in the state of Hawaii. Most of the volcano is underwater, and when measured from its underwater base, Mauna Kea is the tallest mountain in the world, measuring 10,211 meters in height. Mauna Kea is about 1 million years old, and has thus passed the most active shield stage of life hundreds of thousands of years ago. In its current post-shield state, its lava is more viscous, resulting in a steeper profile. Late volcanism has also given it a much rougher appearance than its neighboring volcanoes due to construction of cinder cones, decentralization of its rift zones, glaciation on its peak, and weathering by the prevailing trade winds. Mauna Kea last erupted 6,000 to 4,000 years ago and is now considered dormant. The peak is about 38 meters higher than Mauna Loa, its more massive neighbor. In Hawaiian religion, the peaks of the island of Hawaii are sacred. An ancient law allowed only high-ranking alii to visit its peak. Ancient Hawaiians living on the slopes of Mauna Kea relied on its extensive forests for food, and borrowed the dense volcano glacial basalts on its flanks for tool production. When Europeans arrived in the late 18th century, settlers introduced cattle, sheep and game animals, many of which became feral and began to damage the volcano's ecological balance. Mauna Kea can be ecologically divided into 3 sections: an alpine climate at its summit, a Sephora chrysophylla myoporum cynosense forest on its flanks, and an Acacia-Koa metrosideros polymorpha forest, now mostly cleared by the forest sugar industry, at its base. In recent years, concern over the vulnerability of the native species has led to court cases that have forced the Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources to eradicate all feral species on the volcano. With its high elevation, dry environment, and stable airflow, Mauna Kea summit is one of the best sites in the world for astronomical observation. Since the creation of an access road in 1964, 13 telescopes funded by 11 countries have been constructed at the summit. The Mauna Kea observatories are used for scientific research across the electromagnetic spectrum and comprise the largest such facility in the world. Their construction on a landscape considered sacred by native Hawaiians continues to be a topic of debate to this day.
Alright, and we'll play that one about the lake that's on top of that.
Lake Waiau is a high-elevation lake located at 3,970 meters above sea level on Mauna Kea, on the island of Hawaii. It is arguably one of the highest lakes in the United States. After the evaporation of Kailua-Kona in 2018 and the short-lived lake in Waimea-Kamuela crater in 2020, Lake Waiau is the only lake on Hawaii Island and one of very few lakes at all in the state of Hawaii. It is relatively small, only about 100 meters across, and varies in size as the water level rises and falls. At high water levels, a small outlet stream appears at the northwest end, but it is absorbed into the ground after a short distance. The name means swirling water in Hawaiian, though it is usually rather placid. It usually freezes in winter, but aquatic insects such as midges and beetles can be found breeding in the water.
Alright, definitely some cloud cover on leg number 7 over here. Let's see. You got Mountain View Airstrip up ahead. So the airport sits just on the other side of that. Maybe, since there's nothing else there, we're going to go ahead and adjust our heading here and go to the west. And we're going to switch on to our heading mode and turn on over towards the airport, just to cut a little time off. So, starting off at the most western island, we island hopped all the way over here to the big island, and then after this one, we're just going to have one more leg to go, and then our Hawaiian tour adventure will be done with. Sad to go. Love seeing the beautiful islands of Hawaii. Got a personal connection over here as I visited here back in 2012. We went to, not the big island, but we went to Maui and Oahu. Nice, clearing up a little bit there. Awesome. So we are going to tune to the airport, I believe. Or I guess we got to tune our approach first and contact.
Approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha 8,500 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha approach altimeter 30.27 radar contact. Continue.
Alright, so we're good to go there. Let's see what we got going on. Alright, so the airport is about 14 minutes away, but we are moving one click ahead of normal speed. And the airport sits at Alright, let's take a look at the airport. So we're coming in on runway number 9. Airport length is (3,689 feet). It sits at 6,190 feet above sea level. So it seems like we can reduce our elevation a little bit. Although looking at this, I don't think we can just yet. But we will see. Alright, where are we at here? Alright, so we're getting close to our original flight plan again. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to switch over back to nav mode. Can't just yet. Alright, here comes our line. There we go. Now we can switch over to nav mode. Yeah, so we got plans on doing a lot of flying this weekend. We've already done one live one in the Cessna 172 Skyhawk over at the Grand Canyon, just doing a little mic check. And then we took a short break, and we're doing this one here, leg number 7 on our Hawaiian tour adventures. And then what next? I'm gonna do something next. I'll probably hop over to NeoFly and see how our AI pilots are doing after this. We got Snoop and Hurricane. May have they may have come to a landing at this point, so we'll log their activity and maybe we'll see. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So our NeoFly career, we're currently in Maryland in a Cessna Citation CJ4 and we already accepted a mission. I think it's a passenger mission over to Greenville, North Carolina, over at the Pitt Greenville Airport, the Pitt County. So it was pretty neat to find a job going over to Greenville, because the other thing is, we like golf, and we like to play a PGA Tour golf game online, and I've done a few LiDAR golf courses, and in Greenville was one of them. It was called Bradford Creek. It's a municipal golf course over there that I used to play a lot in real life, so it was pretty neat to be able to do that. So maybe we'll do a flyby on Bradford Creek while we're there. That would be pretty neat. Alright, so we are getting ready to get our approach going here. So we're going to take our sim rate back to normal speed, and we're going to get ready for our landing, shall we? So I appreciate having you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I have. And we're going to kind of take a peek around here. We're going to reduce our elevation, but first we're going to go ahead and reduce our throttle so that we can deploy our flaps. And then we will decrease our elevation here. And we can increase our vertical speed a little bit. And our airport is going to be sitting... See if we can get a visual on the airport. It might be that up here. Yeah, I think that might be the runway. So we're going to come up right against the base of that hill, and then make a right. We should be lining up to the runway now. Oh, that must have been a road. I think that's it up here. Oh no, that is it. Alright, so super tiny airport. Let's go ahead and take a look at it once again on our nav maps and make sure we got everything all situated. Alright, we'll take autopilot off. As we line up for the runway. So yeah, once again guys, I can't emphasize it enough. The reaction that I've seen on these flight simulator games has been just phenomenal, and you guys and the views and all the new subscribers is what keeps me going here. I'm having a blast flying these missions in NeoFly, having a blast doing these tour adventures. We did a little mini Grand Canyon one. We did one in Japan. We did one in the Florida Keys. So all those videos are out there for you guys. I'm just having a blast doing it, and I love to see the reaction. The reaction has been just phenomenal. I think we've gotten like I don't know, I forgot what it was, like 30, 60. No, I think it was 60 new subs since we started doing these tour adventures. So appreciate you guys so much for that. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It will help the channel out and keep it going. And yeah, we're flying in a little high here, but we can make that adjustment, no issues. Cessna 172 is one of the easier planes to fly here in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's probably what we're going to start with in Microsoft 2024. Alright, cut the throttle a bunch there. There's a steep slope on that little threshold thing. Doesn't seem like you really want to hit that. We're going to come in here for a little skip landing. Let's slam on our brakes. Looks like we're going to miss that taxiway, but that's okay. We got another one coming up. Throw the throttle in a little bit for idle so that we can taxi our way down there. Do we have a taxiway? No, just looks like a turnaround point down here, so we'll have to just do a little turnaround and then hit up that taxiway as we land up here on the big island. Just a little detour on the grass there, never hurt anybody. Alright, so we're going to go down here and take a look at what the Bradshaw Airport looks like. Bradshaw Army Airfield is the technical name. Alright, we don't want to miss the taxiway here, so we're going to brake pretty good. We're at a pretty good cruise speed here for taxi, but that's alright. And we will go down this way, and we'll just park right down here and exit the plane, get a little thumbnail. That's a good one, I think. Let's go ahead and grab this little screenshot here for our thumbnail for our final leg. And we will get that going in a little bit. I'm going to take another short break, get a little recup of a cup of coffee, I think. Maybe just a half a cup. We're approaching our coffee limit for the day. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Can't say that enough. We're going to go ahead, shut our plane off, and get ready for the next one. So if you're tuning out for the day, we will see you, and I hope you enjoy your weekend.